Hello and welcome to the Football for Kids podcast with me, Darren Rees. On this episode, we're going to be talking about a very famous match called the El Clasico. Before we do that, I wanted to say two things. Number one, thank you very much for listening. And number two, if you know somebody who loves football just as much as you do, please tell them about Football for Kids. We want as many people to listen and learn about football as we possibly can. On this episode, we're going to be talking about the El Clasico. This is a football match which is played between FC Barcelona and Real Madrid. It's a massive football rivalry and is one of the biggest fixtures in Spanish football. In fact, apart from the World Cup final or the Euro finals, it's one of the biggest matches on the planet and it's watched by millions of football fans around the world. Madrid and Barcelona are the two biggest cities in the country of Spain, and as football teams, the rivalry goes back years. The first El Clasico was in 1902. Can you work out how long ago that was? If you said 120 years ago, you got it right. So the first one in 1902, Barcelona won, and they won 3-1. It's mad to think that Barcelona and Real Madrid have been playing each other for 120 years. If you're not sure what a rivalry is, in football terms, it's where there's intense competition between the teams, and there's nobody they would like to beat more than each other. The rivalry between Barcelona and Madrid is thought to be one of the biggest rivalries, not just in football, but in all sports across the whole world. It's a bit like Liverpool and Everton, Arsenal and Tottenham, Celtic and Rangers, and all of the other rivalries that you can probably think of. The two teams have played each other 184 times just in the La Liga League, and after 184 games, it's pretty close. Real Madrid have won 76 games, Barcelona have won 73 games, and there's been 35 draws between the two teams. The total goals scored in the La Liga matches between Barcelona and Real Madrid is exactly the same as each other. They've both scored 295 goals against each other. Can you believe it? The rivalry is so intense between the two clubs that it is so extremely rare for the fans of Barcelona to show appreciation to the Madrid players, and the same for the other way round. The fans won't clap for the skills of the other team unless something really special has happened. There was once a player called Ronaldinho who played for Barcelona, and he was one of the best players in the world at that time. He dribbled through all of the Real Madrid players twice and scored, and the Madrid fans stood up and clapped and showed their appreciation for what a wonderful player he was. Another player called Diego Maradona, once he did exactly the same thing, and he was appreciated and clapped by the Real Madrid fans. At the start of the El Clasico matches, depending where the match is being held, if it's at Real Madrid, the Madrid fans hold up white signs to make the whole place white to try and scare the Barcelona players. When the match is at the Barcelona stadium, the Barcelona fans hold up the colours of red, maroon and blue to do exactly the same thing. Both Real Madrid and Barcelona have had some of the greatest players football has ever seen that have played for them. Thierry Henry, Neymar, Ronaldo, not the Portuguese one you're thinking of, another one who was amazing, Diego Maradona, Ronaldinho, and of course Messi. Plus, so many other great players have worn the red, maroon and blue of Barcelona. Real Madrid have had the likes of Luis Figo, Cristiano Ronaldo, Zinedine Zidane, Benzema, Roberto Carlos, and so many others have worn the crisp white kit of Real Madrid. You may not have heard of some of those players, but ask an adult who loves their football, and they'll tell you how good they were. When the teams score against each other in the El Clasico, the celebrations from the players normally means the players going up to the opposite fans and annoying them. In April 2017, Messi scored a winning goal in the 93rd minute of the match and ran up to the Real Madrid fans, took his football top off and held it up to them so they could see his name and his shirt number. Later on that year, Cristiano Ronaldo in the El Clasico came on as a substitute and scored in the 80th minute to win. He ran up to the Barcelona fans and took his top off, holding his shirt backwards so the crowd could see Ronaldo and his shirt number. Not only are the football teams rivals, Ronaldo and Messi have been rivals for years because of the opposite clubs which they played for. Here's a fact for you, which was told to me by my 8-year-old son Charlie. He said, "The king of the El Clasico is a name which is given to Messi, from his many years representing Barcelona and playing such a big part in the El Clasico games. Messi has scored 26 goals against Real Madrid over the years and is the top goal scorer of the El Clasico matches. Messi is one of the few Barcelona players to score a hat-trick in the El Clasico games, and he has done this in 2 different games. Gary Lineker, an English footballer who you might have seen on Match of the Day, once scored a hat-trick for Barcelona in the El Clasico and is the only English player to ever do it. Real Madrid and Barcelona are 2 of the most followed football teams on the planet. It's not just Spain that they're followed in. People are supporters of the teams all over the globe. They're the 2 most followed sports teams on social media in the whole world, not just football, in all sports. The games are normally really close between the 2 teams, but every so often, one of the teams thrashes the other. A long time ago in 1943, can you guess how long ago that was? If you said 79 years ago, you would have been correct. So in 1943, Real Madrid beat Barcelona, drumroll please, 11-1. 11-1! 7 years later, Barcelona beat them 7-2. And over the years, each team has had the occasional 4 or 5-0 win. The most common result between the 2 teams has been 2-1 to either team. That has happened 45 times. A lot of footballers dream of playing for their team, but they also dream of playing football for Barca or Madrid too. The youngest player to play in an El Clasico match is a player called Gabi. He was just 17 years old when he played for Barcelona in the El Clasico. Imagine being out of school for a year and then playing in such an important and famous match. It just goes to show that if you work hard enough, you can achieve great things. I hope you enjoyed hearing about the El Clasico, and hopefully one day you'll get the opportunity to watch it. Whether you're playing football soon, watching it pitchside, or on the telly, I hope you enjoy the game. See you next time.
Thank you for listening to Football for Kids podcast.